Larry, it's been a couple weeks since we talked to you last to kind of update us on how you think the club's coming together, pitching, defense, offense, all that stuff.
We're just trying to keep our head above water right now and try to get some guys back, hopefully by this weekend. Yeah, I mean, we have 3 of our better offensive players down, and they've been out for an extended period of time. So we'll see. I mean, we're optimistic that we might get 1 or 2 of them back. They won't be back at 100%, but I think that influx of talent is what we really need at this part of the season.
So you're talking Jensen,
Miller, Wise. They're 3 of our better guys. There are 2, 4, and 5 hitters, and they've been out for 2 to 3 weeks each. Haniger's battling some back issues. Busby just took a ball off the helmet on Friday's game. So we're not where we want to be at this point, but we're just trying to get ready for conference, and that's how we're kind of looking at it.
I'm just curious, I know it's wrist injuries, but what happened with Jensen and Miller, and kind of who's maybe closer to coming back?
I don't know. They're both kind of at the similar point. They really had to take a lot of time off. They are getting daily treatment. Today was the first day they went on their own and actually took a few swings, light swings, and pain's still there. So it's something that you want to try to make sure that it's as close to healed as possible, so you don't go out and re-aggravate it and have to sit out another extended period of time. But we're hoping to get 1 or both of those guys back, and then Wise has a hamstring issue, and he's been swinging the bat with us all along, and he thinks it's about 80%, and it'd be nice to get his back in the lineup also.
Let's talk about your pitching. I mean, Fishback last week was, how impressed were you with what he put out there? And
yeah, it was great. I mean, it was good to see him be successful, and it was a perfect matchup for him. Very aggressive Minnesota offensive team, and kept him off balance with especially the changeup. And it's good. I mean, we need real strong outings from Radke, Fishback, and now Chase Johnson on Sunday. Need to try to shorten that game as much as possible, and we have 2 or 3 of our bullpen guys that have been pretty reliable, and then at the end with Jeff Johnson, he's about as good as they get. So you're just trying to get through 6 innings, keep it close, and then try to tack on some runs at the end.
So you guys open conference play with Riverside this weekend. Just kind of talk about just opening up conference play 0-0, and you guys are picked to finish in the top half.
Yeah, I just think it's it's a kind of a new starting point. You take what you've accomplished and what you've learned in non-conference, and try just to make that a valuable, and hopefully that your players have gotten some valuable experience, and that will pay dividends once conference starts. So that's where we are right now. We don't have a lot of options right now because our bench is so thin from an offensive standpoint. But we played a number of games. We've learned from it. We've tried to work on those weaknesses in practice, and hopefully they'll pay dividends once conference starts.
Larry, I know you always emphasize defense because that's what you want, but losing the hitters that you have you had to put a bigger emphasis on it in preparation for this weekend, or just in general?
Meaning?
More of an emphasis on getting better defensively.
Yeah, we have to. If you take 3 quality bats out of your offensive lineup, you have to pitch well and play defense. And at times we do, but at times we don't. And those players too. Wise and who's my other besides Jensen? Miller. Miller's our starting. Little guy. They're quality defensive guys too. So it's. Not only have they been, Miller and Wise been adding some real good offense, real good numbers for us. There are 2 of our better defenders, and if you can get Mike Miller back at shortstop, you can move J.J. Thompson to first base, and that's a plus defensively. You can move Tim Wise to left field, and we're probably a couple of bats short in our lineup right now, and we have players that are hitting in places they shouldn't be hitting in the lineup, and it just. there's just too many voids right now in our lineup. So, but back to your original question, yeah, I mean, if you're going to struggle for a while offensively, then you better be able to pitch, play defense. You better be able to execute, and that's one thing we haven't done on a game-by-game basis. Some games we're pretty good at, and other games, teams will give us a run if we can just execute, and we don't. And that's just part of the learning experience and growing up and getting used to this level. But it is what it is at this time. We'll gear up for Pepperdine, try to get better and try to win that game. And then it'd be nice if we can just get some, 2 to 3 injured players back for this weekend. Even if they're not 100%, if they're 90%, they add that element of confidence into your lineup. And that baseball's so contagious. It's if you think you're good, then you got a chance, of playing good.
Who's your best first baseman?
J.J. Thompson. Yeah, he's my best defensive first baseman, and we haven't worked with him that much. We did a couple years back, and when I kind of saw where we were headed early in the season, I knew I had to get him some work at first base. So he's probably the better defender. And what we ask of our first basemen is just to be a guy that just takes care of things, doesn't try to do anything that special, and just make good decisions. And that's really all we've asked, because we've had some freshmen over there that, for the most part, they were outfielders or middle infielders, and we've asked them to learn a new position and just, well, I always just say it's the Trent Dilfer. It's just the quarterback that just takes care of the game and let the other players win the game for you.